Hey, welcome back.
We are back again. Like and subscribe. Thanks again, guys. So yes, we are talking the LIV Golf. What that means in simple terms is the Saudi Arabia Golf League. For those that know, of course you know, because that's why you're clicking on this. We appreciate that. So the LIV Golf, very controversial. So for those that don't know, the kings and the queens and the Saudi princes and everything in Saudi Arabia are paying hundreds of millions of dollars for this new upstart golf league to compete against the PGA Tour. As you know, Phil Mickelson, Tiger Woods, and all the great golfers are obviously in the PGA Tour. They have been since the beginning of time. Well, now we have this new controversial Saudi Arabia League. Now, me personally, it's got a lot. People on Twitter are losing their minds on Twitter. How dare these greedy Americans leave their country behind? This is what they're saying. They leave their country behind, the PGA American Tour, and go to play in Saudi Arabia and all these golf tournaments. Because they talk about, we know Khashoggi a couple years ago, we're not going to go too deep into this, the journalist that was, how do I want to phrase this, was killed by the Saudi government. There's no nice way, warning, trigger alert, got into some problems there. Now, that was horrible. We all agree that was horrible. However, that has nothing to do with this case, in my opinion. Okay, so the first question is, so here are some of the top guys, and this broke just today. So another two good guys. Patrick Reed, fantastic golfer, he's going. Bryson DeChambeau, top 10 in the world, is also going, as well as Phil Mickelson and Dustin Johnson, two also great champions as well, going to golf in the Saudi Arabia tournament. Now you look puzzled, so I'm not going to go too deep into this, but Phil Mickelson 2 months ago, you may not have heard, made a bunch of comments explaining all the horrible things of the Saudi Arabia, human rights and this and this. So he went down the whole thing, which was really dumb. He got in big trouble for that. PGA Tour is coming down strong. Personally, I have no problem. If you said to me, hey, right now the Saudi Arabia government is offering me $100 million to go golf in these 8 cities, I can argue for 2 hours with you about the Saudi Arabia government, and you're like, yeah, I hear what you're saying. Oh, by the way, it's going to get $100 million. See ya. Right?
Right.
So Phil Mickelson is getting $200 million because he's the big draw, all the majors, all the wins to go over. They tried to get Tiger Woods. They were going to give Tiger Woods several $100 million just to go over there for one city. One city. Now this $200 million Phil Mickelson is getting guaranteed. He could do terrible. He could pick up his golf clubs. He could throw them in the water. He could get bitten by an alligator, and he's going to get $200 million.
Right.
What do you think of that?
I think that's an extravagant amount of money for anyone, and it would be hard to deny that sum.
It's too much money, guys.
Yeah,
people are going to throw stones. Lights are going off here. We don't know what happened there, but it must be close to midnight. This happens. Yeah. Okay. Well, we're not gonna go 75 minutes on this video. Is that what that means?
I guess we're gonna have to cut it short.
Well, we're not gonna cut it too short because I still got a couple more to go here. But so the point is, he's getting $200 million. Dustin Johnson, who's number 2 on this depth chart, is getting $125 million guaranteed. Now, the winner of each one of these gets $20 million. Just drop my pen there. Don't be alarmed. $20 million. Now, I want to go over the cities of the LIV. So the first city, it's this weekend. It's going to be in London. Then a couple weeks later, it's going to be in Portland. Then a few weeks after that, it's going to be at Bedminster. And then the 4th city is going to be Boston. The 5th city is going to be Chicago. The 6th city is going to be Bangkok, Thailand. 7th is going to be in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Not very familiar with that specific city, so I'm not going to go too deep into that. It's the only one that's actually in Saudi Arabia. And then last but not least, wrapping up, a few weeks after that is going to be in Miami near South Beach. So many of these are in the United States, and a couple of them are actually at Trump golf courses. Because of his issues. We're not going to go too deep into that. The PGA, because several was with that. So this is fascinating on multiple levels, controversial, multiple levers, hundreds of millions of dollars. The end of the road is this: people are getting twisted up on Twitter, getting very angry, calling these people traitors and just the worst names ever. I don't care what anybody says. If somebody's going to give you $40, $50, $100 million, plus not to mention if you win the tournament, you get upwards of $20 to $30 million. So there's 8 tournaments. If I understand this correctly, I could be wrong on this, but you could, if you did win, if you went 8 for 8, you could potentially get, or your team, the team gets $20 million. I think the actual, correction, the winner gets $4 million, the winner. So I think the max is like 32, we'll call it 32 to 40 million. It gets very detailed, and I don't want to explain for an hour and a half the gigawatts, but just to give you the simple, if you're one of these top tier guys, you're getting 70, 80, 100, up to $200 million to play in a few cities in a golf tournament. By the way, if you're a golfer, this is fun. We're gonna let you go to London. You get to go to Boston. You get to go to Miami. You get to go to Saudi. This is a fun trip. This will be the trip of your life. Most of these golfers would pay to have a trip like this.
Sure.
This is unbelievable. So like and subscribe. Robert, you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, no, like I said, I think that.
I mean, you're not even a golfer, and neither am I.
And actually, I did used to play growing up. I used to play golf.
Oh, this is a secret here. Now we're
And I played in Miami at the Fontainebleau, actually.
Okay.
So I did. I don't play anymore. I mean, driving range and Top Golf and stuff like that now. But when I was younger, for years, I would go out and we would actually play. And so very thankful that I got to experience that at a young age.
How would you like to play in South Beach, in Chicago?
To play, despite it being fun regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be tough to turn down.
Much less $100 million. Let's not. Now, Phil Mickelson, he's like, you could say arguably Tiger's number one as far as brand power, and you could say Phil Mickelson's number two as far as brand power and so forth. But you're talking about getting Dustin Johnson, fantastic golfer, $125 million guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Yeah, that's.
And the PGA Tour is trying to flex, trying to kick people off the tour. Oh, you're not going to go. We're going to kick you off. I got to be honest, guys. You give somebody $125 million, do you really need the PGA Tour?
Yeah.
The PGA Tour is going to learn. I'm going to say this last thing before we wrap this up. The PGA Tour is going to learn they're not as big as they think they were. They're not as big as they were 6 months ago and a year from now. Because Saudi Arabia literally prints money, and they print it in oil. We all know the problems they've had. Nobody's saying that they're perfect. But at the same token, I'm not going to throw stones. And the last ironic part that I'm going to say, we did this earlier about Elon Musk, who's trying to buy 100% of Twitter. He doesn't officially have it. The Saudi prince owns 5% of Twitter still. So all these people that are on Twitter throwing stones, they're literally hypocritical. He literally owns 5% of Twitter. Right. The Saudi prince and the Saudi government. So like and subscribe, comment. Thanks again, guys.